Hey guys, Sky right here, and before this video starts, I just want to tell y'all, a heads up, this is a warning that this video contains a lot of words that may trigger people, and this is a very sensitive topic, and it contains words such as rape, and I'm not going to blur it out just so you guys can get a full understanding of how serious the topic is. And excuse the whole like goofy energy in the intro, because I always want to stay positive in my videos and bring uplifting energy, but I wasn't aware of how deep and sensitive the topic was, so I apologize for that. And yeah, also shout out to BlackySpeakz for taking accountability for something that had nothing to do with him, and I apologize and send all of my love to the young woman that had to go through that stuff.
What's up, y'all? Sky right here, and today, how y'all doing? First of all, you know what I'm saying, I'm chilling right now, you know what I'm saying. It's kind of hot in the house a little bit. Well, the air's on right now, but earlier it was just mad hot. Like it was so hot that I couldn't even I can't even bust a move. I gotta stay there stiff and composed, because if I bust a move, I'm gonna break a sweat. But is it hot for y'all wherever y'all at? I know Florida definitely is. Florida heat is not no joke, bro. I don't know how y'all live in that type of heat. Check out this Sean O'Malley shirt. I don't even watch this dude. I'm not even a fan of him, but I be seeing some clips. He got hands. I'm not gonna lie. I got these Martin shorts. I got from some place in Delaware. It's called Plato's Closet. These are my favorite shorts. I wear these all the time, and my uncle always talking about stealing them from me. And he ain't taking them from me because I'm not taking them off. Yes, I'm not bathing for the next 4 days. You what? Yeah, today we're reacting to BlackySpeakz. I forgot the title of the video, but it's basically a video about KR. I don't know if y'all know who KR is. I didn't even know he was an actor and all that stuff. I know he was a rapper, and he does. This video is 2 years old, by the way, but he used to do jerk videos and stuff, and I just recently started like watching them again. Watching the Rangers. Hold up, look, watch this. Look at my reject. Look, hold up. I need some music. I'm gonna put some music on. Look, rappers who fell off. Shout out to D Chanel. I'll be watching her. He didn't even fall off. They knocked him off, man. But yeah, KR. I think he was a part of Marvel Inc. They participated in the jerking movement. That's very you know what I'm saying, that's cool. If y'all want to see some dance videos, I might start doing them again.
Now, I want to talk about the story regarding KR. If you guys don't know who KR is, he's a 27-year-old Los Angeles rapper who just got sentenced to 50 years to life in prison for rape. Some of my day one subscribers might recognize the name and face. KR is a rapper who
oh, bro, every time I see that, the arm on my chair was trying to touch my butt. Look, I don't see why people. It's always just famous people. Like, I mean, famous doesn't I don't want to say fame that makes you gain anything. Me personally, I feel like as long as you have a good personality, and you don't let stuff like the people around you and stuff like that, money, worldly possessions change you, I think that's all right. But it's always, I feel like that don't matter. But it's always the people they're that's wealthy and they doing good for themselves, that's like they just feel the need to be doing stuff like that. And I'm like, why are you doing it? Like, you got, like, look at you got all this stuff, you're blessed, and come on.
who I've actually done an interview with. This is a rapper who I found in 2017, thought he was extremely talented, and I really believed in the vision he had with his music. So much to the point where I not only used my platform to shine light on his music, but I also did an interview with him back in 2018. I really believed in KR. I genuinely thought he was gonna pop, and he was actually headed in that direction. But it turns out that the whole time, the guy who I supported, he was on some other shit. On September 11, 2018, Kaalan Walker, professionally known as KR, got arrested by Los Angeles detectives for a series of sexual assaults. The allegations dated back all the way to 2016. According to law enforcement, KR at the time was facing 9 felony assault allegations, but law enforcement believed there might have been more. Several aspiring models came out and accused KR of luring them to a private location, believing that he would help them further their modeling careers, but what he did instead was he took advantage of them. He raped them. The LAPD made a statement about it back then, saying the following: in each of the cases, aspiring models were contacted by Walker via social media with the premise of being hired to work professionally, according to an LAPD statement. Each of the victims reported that Walker sexually assaulted them. A few days after his arrest on September 11, he got released, but was shortly after called in once again. KR was being held on a $1 million bail. KR's lawyer at the time came out and spoke on this and maintained his client's innocence. Mr. Walker adamantly maintains his complete innocence, his lawyer said. He did not receive a fair trial as the jury did not hear many material issues.
Yo, nine cases is crazy though, cause that's just wild. Cause you never know. I was about to say, you never know. It could be. I don't want to say that though. I was gonna say, you know how there are some females that kind of they know it's a rapper or somebody famous or that's somebody that's very wealthy, and they think that they can get something out of them from accusing them of stuff like that. But at the same time, what do you gain from doing stuff like that though? Because at the end of the day, I guess not pity, but I guess sympathy. But no disrespect to these women that sorry that happened to them for real.
Issues and the facts due to being excluded improperly by the court, his lawyer said. In total, more than 30 women stepped forward with allegations against KR. 3 of the victims were only 16 years old. One of the victims was a model by the name of Jada Everin.
You get a thrill from doing that to
A model by the name of Jada.
Oh my goodness, Milwaukee, to be doing this, and the thing is, oh my gosh, and the thing is, like, to be doing this to multiple people, like over a dozen. That's 30. Like, that's 30 women that came out and said that. That's outrageous, man.
Jada Everin.
you get a thrill from doing that to women, and that's a sickness. And so someone like that, you gotta put them away because they're just going to keep doing it.
She says
Another thing, I don't mean to keep pausing, but like to women out there that want to get into like modeling or stuff like that, or things of that nature. Do not, be careful of like who you're around. Be conscious of who you're around, because the dudes, we don't gotta. A lot of dudes, we don't really gotta deal with stuff like that. I mean, although I do hear stories about stuff that happen to dudes. Us men, we don't really have to deal with stuff like that. So I feel like we kind of is it over or under looking? I don't know. But we kind of go past it. We don't really, like, we acknowledge it and we acknowledge that it's bad, but we don't really, like, understand the full, like, context, or I don't know what I'm trying to say, but we don't really understand the full, like, experience, or what the trauma of going through something like that could really do to you. I really apologize to women that go through stuff like that, and I want to say that be careful who you're around, be careful who you speak to, because a lot of dudes out here are weird, and that's another thing I wanted to say too, because I know people always say like some females be too cautious or something like that. I understand, because it's like not every dude is trying to do that. Not every dude has those type of intentions. But at the same time, there are a lot of dudes out there who do. So, you can never be too cautious though. So, I understand why females be walking around with like tasers. They be walking around with tasers, pepper spray, knives, all on their keychain. Like, yeah.
She says Walker preyed upon her when she was 16. The now 23-year-old recalls Walker reaching out to her on Instagram for a photo shoot, what a prosecutor describes as his MO.
He name dropped a lot of people, saying things kind of dramatically, like, I can make you famous overnight. I can make you a model, give you everything you wanted. And
that's how they get them, man.
Especially if you're young, you're believing every word that this person's saying. He's older, he's verified.
She spoke to Rolling Stone back in April and shared.
That's nothing to my very young viewers out there who, especially kids, man, that's so disgusting too. I don't like how, and that's why people always like, teach your kids about stuff like this, because so they know what to do and what not to do in situations like that. Because you're young, like you're young, barely matured brain doesn't really doesn't even fathom like, or can't even comprehend something like that happening, you know. So yeah, man, you don't really, you don't, when you that young, you're not really, or like when you're that young, or when you're kind of thinking, oh, I'm gonna get famous, you don't really think about stuff like that potentially happening, or like you do, but you don't think like it's gonna happen to you until it probably does. I'm not saying it will. I pray that it doesn't happen to any of you all, but yeah, man, that's crazy.
Shared her story. Jada's story was this. Back in 2014, at the age of 16 years old, she said that KR contacted her on Instagram and promised her a photo shoot. Jada had apparently traveled from Fresno, California to meet KR, and according to Jada, KR raped her. Another 16-year-old victim, who was an aspiring model, shared her story in court and said that she was offered a photo shoot by Kaalan Walker just like Jada. Her mother and stepfather drove her to his apartment building, which I don't know why they would do that. She then got separated from her family and was allegedly manipulated into recording a sex tape. According to...
Why didn't they go like in or something? I don't want to blame the parents or nothing, but it's just like, why would you allow your daughter, knowing she's a woman, a young woman, your daughter, go in a place with a foot? That's crazy.
Like Jada. Her mother and stepfather drove her to his apartment building, which I don't know why they would do that. She then got separated from her family and was allegedly manipulated into recording a sex tape. According to the testimony she made in court, she resisted multiple times, but KR did not take no for an answer. He kept on insisting, pushing, and persistent by talking over her. The young girl in question eventually caved, and they recorded the tape. Another woman spoke out as well and told her story. The woman testified that she got drunk while she was on a party bus that was posted up outside a nightclub in Los Angeles. It was apparently after a Tyga concert. The woman testified and said that after she got drunk on his bus, she was led to a car by a person who promised they were going to help her get inside the show. The person ended up forcing themselves on her and raped her while they were inside the car. She at the time had no idea who this person was until she got a rape exam. According to District Attorney Cynthia Wallace, the DNA in the woman's vagina cavity matched up with Kaalan Walker. A Los Angeles model by the name of Sydney Stanford also shared her story. According to Sydney, who was 19 years old at the time, back in 2017, she reached out to KR with the intention of getting a photo shoot. Sydney stated that on the first night they met, KR raped her inside a locked car. Her testimony was not included in the case against Kaalan. However, she did report it to the police and also spoke with the prosecutors in his case. Earlier this year, back in April, KR was found guilty of raping 6 of the women who made these allegations against him. 3 of those, like we stated, were only 16 years old. The prosecutors described these attacks as sophisticated. KR at the time, who was facing up to 100 years to life in prison, said the following as he was led away in handcuffs after the guilty verdict. "I didn't rape anybody, Your Honor. I did not rape anybody," he said.
And then he's lying. Almost 100 years because of that. Like you almost 100 years because that's what you wanted to do. Like, I don't understand why. What goes through your brain? Like, I guess, like, I understand people got, no, that's not. I understand, like, everybody's brains are different, but that's still not really an excuse for somebody doing something like that. You don't, like, for him to just straight lie like that, that's crazy. You're facing almost 100 years because you just didn't want to go out, and you just didn't want to go out and talk to a female like a normal person. That's crazy. That's weird.
He said. The prosecutor stated that KR used his celebrity status on social media and lured women to a private location. In that fashion, he was able to disarm his victims' defenses and did what he did. On Monday, October 17, Kaalan Walker was officially sentenced to 50 years to life in prison for multiple rapes. A Los Angeles rapper was sentenced to at least half a century behind bars Monday after he was convicted at trial of numerous rapes. Kaalan Walker, 27, was convicted in April of 3 counts of forcible rape, 2 counts of statutory rape, and 2 counts of rape by intoxication, according to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. Kaalan was arrested in 2018 on the charges and was released on bail, but he was ordered held after sentencing, according to City News Service. The rapper's victims, who were models, alleged that Walker reached out to them over social media, offering to help them professionally, police said. The article continues by saying Walker would lure his victims to locations by telling them there was a music video shoot or that he was going to introduce them to someone famous, City News reported. When he was alone with the women, he sexually assaulted them, his victims told police. I said at the beginning of this video, this was someone who I really believed in, someone who I couldn't imagine was on this type of shit. JR is a guy who had a lot of things going for him. He was young, successful, famous, started in the
That's what I'm saying, dude. You never know what's going on in somebody's brain or going on in somebody's life. That's how I do. Like, that's what I'm saying. Watching his dance videos and stuff, like you'll never think that that's the type of stuff that he's doing. Like, that's crazy.
in a Hollywood movie. But despite all the things he had going for him, despite all his accomplishments, at the end of the day, it turns out that he was a monster. It turns out that he was preying on a bunch of young women, manipulated them by using his status as a bargaining chip, and forced himself on these young women. Disappointment isn't even the word. I'm disgusted, man. This is the same person who I did an interview with. This is the same person who I offered my platform to because I thought they deserved it. The whole time you were on some predator shit. And I know you're listening to this from behind bars, KR. It's absolutely despicable what you did. It's absolutely despicable the pain you caused onto these young women. It's absolutely disgraceful how you did all this shit. And this is the same man who I shine light on with my platform. The whole time, this is the kind of person you are. The only person or people, women in plural, I feel anything for in this situation are the victims. These young women are now going to have to live with the pain and trauma you cause onto them, all because you did some fucked up shit. No amount of time KR gets is going to make up for this shit put these women through. You could get 90 years in prison and that shit would still not be enough. I'm disgusted because this is someone who I really believed in, and the whole time it turns out that they were nothing but a piece of garbage. How could you do something like this, man? How could you claim that you wanted to help these young women and the whole time you had some other shit in your mind? How could you use your power for something so reprehensible? What you did is shameful, repugnant, gruesome, nasty, scandalous, and vile. I believed in you, bro. I believed in you so much to the point where I offered you a hand so you could share your voice on my platform, and this is the shit you were on the whole fucking time? You should be ashamed of yourself for what you did. You caused a bunch of pain and suffering onto these women, and now they're gonna have to carry that weight for the rest of their life. I'm sending my love to all the young women who were affected by the disgusting actions of KR. I hope they can find some peace because they're the only ones who need peace here. I hope you can overcome this trauma and pain and suffering that was caused onto you. Also, I want to apologize to the victims for not covering this story earlier. As a media platform who's always put integrity at the forefront of my work, this time around, I didn't do that. So a message to any of the victims or anyone, my audience, everyone who asked me to cover this story. I definitely failed you guys and I'm taking full accountability for that. I'll come out and say this. I did become somewhat friends with KR, and my perception of who I wanted him to be got in the way of me reporting on.
Like, you don't gotta take accountability for anything, bro. At the end of the day, you didn't know who this guy really was and what his true intentions were, man. So don't even do all that, man.
The story when it initially broke, and for that I apologize, and as a man I do take full accountability for that. There's really no excuse for it, and I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. Unfortunately, I fell into the trap a lot of men fall into, which is the homie is an absolute piece of garbage, but because he's the homie, you don't call it out. So that definitely applies to me. All my guys out there, learn from my mistake. Let me serve as an example for what not to do. We as men, we have to hold each other accountable, because if we don't, who will? During these 5 years I've been making content on YouTube, there's one regret I have. It's this right here. Definitely not happy with the fact that I didn't cover it. Just know that I've been beating myself up over it for a long time, and I went against my morals and values because I refused to believe that he was this person. I was blind to it, honestly, and at the time I really couldn't see it, but now it's crystal clear. Once again, taking full accountability, and I apologize for not standing on what I knew was right at the time. I hope this video could make up for that. This video is very personal, y'all, so I want to give a final message to Kaalan. KR, you're going to have to sit and ponder about this for the rest of your life. You're going to have to live with the consequences of your actions every day of your life. And just know this, the only person who's to blame here is you. You made...
Like, man, you going to have to sit in the cell for, like, half of your life. Shoot, probably, they say, like, 100 years, but if he doesn't get that many years, he gonna have to sit in the jail cell for the half of his life because of, you know, him manipulating and taking advantage of these young women. So like, man,
you made your bed, and now you're gonna have to lie in it for the rest of your motherfucking life. Sending love to all the victims who were affected by Kaalan Walker's actions, and hope y'all can find some peace and overcome the pain and trauma.
Whole life, not even just have whole life probably this
put you through.
Crazy. Oh man, shout out to BlackySpeakz. Go subscribe to his channel. You know, make sure I like the video, subscribe with that bell notification so you won't miss any video I'm making. See y'all in the next video. Bye. I just want to say too, you know, if people that watch me deal with stuff like this, my condolences and my love goes to you, and I just want to say that, you know, you're loved. I hope you find peace through whatever you're facing, and that, you know, that doesn't that moment, that traumatic moment, doesn't stick with you for the rest of your life. Yeah, I hope you guys find peace and solace and through those traumatic experiences, you know. And yeah, man, that's, I can't even say nothing to come. I mean, I can say things to comfort people, but I can't say anything that, like, I don't know. Sometimes I try to put myself in people's shoes, but sometimes it's just too much to where it's like I can't even imagine going through something like that. So yeah, I just, you know, I hope that, um, you know, you guys recover, mentally, physically, and spiritually from stuff like that. And whoever it doesn't happen to, I pray that it doesn't happen to you. And I hope you use these people as examples, what to do or what not to do, and to be careful who you're around, and to stay safe, man. And other than that, love you guys. Be safe out here.